Hello. I was off for a few days. I went to MagFest, which I don't know if you know what it is. It's a music and games festival. It's a big gaming convention out of National Harbor. Really nice place. And they basically have video games, and then they kind of tack on music because why not? So it's a music and games festival. Mostly about the games, but they do have a lot of good music too. I didn't really see much music this year, but that's all right. A few notes. One, Mac, go to conventions. It's good. It's good to do things. You'll be happier going to a convention than otherwise, and it's frankly cheaper to go. If one's in your area, it's cheaper to go to a convention than most other forms of entertainment. And yes, that includes eating out. Um, at a really nice restaurant. If you eat out at a really nice restaurant, it's probably going to spend you about $80. One of these is like a whole weekend, 3 days for 130, 120. And if you buy them ahead, it's even cheaper. Second, basically, so what is MagFest? MagFest is basically the best convention. I've been to a bunch of conventions. This is probably the best one. First of all, I'm probably the average age there. There are a lot of younger people, a lot of older people. There's a good mix. I'm actually surprised and relieved that I've kind of started getting older at the same time that these conventions started becoming more variety in ages, I guess. But basically, you just walk around, which is great. I actually volunteered for 4 hours. Awesome note. Volunteer for things when you go to them. It's a really good way to feel like you belong to the festival, like you should be there, which is nice. And of course, figures. I worked with two guys just guarding the exit door, making sure people exit through the exit door and don't enter through the exit door. Yeah, it's lame, but the reason is not really to keep stupid rules. The reason is to keep in my opinion, what it looked like is to keep doors open for if paramedics or any staff or cops or anybody have to go in. They need a way to go in that's very clear and easy. So you keep an exit spot open. Done. At least that's the impression I got. But people are pretty cool about it. They tend to be pretty bull-following people, which is nice. But the two people I worked with were both conservatives, which is funny. And it's nice because they're both fellow conservative tech people in the DC area, which is kind of cool. And they kind of back me up in the fact that the tech market is complete garbage right now. It's not me, it's not anybody else. It's just bad market, and I'm lucky to be employed right now. I'm gonna be paid off of everything. Side note: I am completely paid off of everything except my house now. Which is partially subsidized by my tenants. So my monthly expenses are like really, really low right now, which is kind of insane. I can basically do whatever I want at this point. But what do I want? I don't know. But anyway, these conventions, so they have that. They have panels. Honestly, the panel game is weak this year. They have a giant warehouse floor at the bottom floor of National Harbor. And they split it up into 4 sections. The first section is video game tournaments, a lot of Super Smash Brothers, and console gaming setup. So that's like the roughness section. And the second roughness section is going to be shops. So they have basically a million booths set up where they sell art and like mouse pads, computer pads, figurines, mostly art at this one actually, but some figurines and stuff, music, a little bit of manga, that kind of thing. And let me tell you, most of the art is anime oriented, which I'm sorry, I'm not going to put that up on my wall of my house. I'm just not that committed. But one of the artists, she's there every year. She paints some of her own stuff and sells that too there, and that stuff's amazing. So I painted about 4 of her pictures, which basically I got one. My brother's a little souvenir, my mom is a souvenir, and 2 for myself. I kind of wish I had bought more, but I don't want to buy too much in one place. And bought some other stuff for myself. Like I bought like a wallet thing, a wallet. a couple other things. But there's a couple other things that where does I get? Anyway, then the third to the left is going to be basically different bunch of indie games where they basically let you try different games. And that I feel like is the most soul of the MagFest. Like the reason there is a festival is to get people a chance to demo their games and show their games off. And a lot of them are pretty cool. A lot of them are kind of generic, and a lot of them have really good ideas. But there are three standouts to me. One was this something white game. I took pictures, so I have a record. Beautiful graphics, just gorgeous. Second one was they had a card-based space combat game, Aurora something, Anova, which was really, really cool. I played a lot of that. And then they had a Halloween game, which you go around and you collect candy from different houses and stuff. It's really cute. Except for the fact that, like, one of the enemies, I guess, is this old guy in a mask who chases you down. Which I'm like, bolder than to put a pedophile in this game. Who just attacks you on Halloween. Weird, but anyway. And then the fourth section is going to be arcade games. Classic and new. There's a lot of, like, Japanese type arcade games. Some other games too, but like the classics. But the Japanese arcade games are just a blast to play. They're just like really, really good. And they have the Star Wars game there, which I was really happy about. Even though the joystick for that game is crap. But anyway, yeah, that's the bottom four. And then there's the panels. And then there's a separate area I didn't actually spend much time in this year, which is different than most years, where they had a bunch of board game set up. So they have like a giant hall of people playing board games. And then upstairs, I didn't go to this much this time, is a music room. They have a bunch of music, everything. And the other thing that they have, they're simulation games. So they have this Star Trek simulator where basically you have 5 people and they each get a chair. And they basically, one person gets guns, one person gets a pilot, one person's captain, one person's science, and one person's engineering. And together they all work together to basically go through a series of to go through a couple generic Star Trek missions. Now, not Star Trek where it's like, oh, let's talk about ideas and philosophize and stuff, but like what a Star Trek vessel would do if you were in a Star Trek universe. Like, hey, we got some drones that went bad. Let's blow them up. Or, oh, we have to rescue this person from this location, whatever. And we actually got to, at the end of it, we actually got to the Kobayashi Maru level, which is basically like supposed to be like a death game, the most difficult level, and we actually beat it. Turns out three other teams also beat it at that point. But given how many teams go through, that's actually we had a good team. And I think that's mostly the pilot, where it's like, okay, we're gonna run away and keep them at the distance where we can shoot them, but they can't shoot us because of the ranges of the different weapons. And that strategy worked great. Worked really, really great. It was really funny. The Wasp, by the way, is an overpowered gun for a basic gun. The Wasp is overpowered. I also met some people, so that's what I was going to get to. So I've been to music festivals, I've been to gaming conventions, I've been to nerd conventions, I've been to not as many. I've been to a couple church things with a lot of people. And I got to tell you, especially between music festivals and nerd conventions, because I feel like music festivals are like, that's where the popular kids go. Nerd conventions are where the nerdy kids go. And now they're beginning to be the same group, but I saw somebody doing cocaine at this event. It's a nerd event, and I saw somebody doing cocaine, and I'm like, this is not what I would expect. And this was actually kind of cool for me because I got to kind of see the more sketch side of Nerd Festival. So the guy I hung out with a lot, awesome guy, Igor. He's like a photographer or something. Basically, he like adopted me as like his Shinpachi with like, his nerdy sidekick, I guess. So he showed me like this area next to the pool area outside, though, that all the heat excess escapes from the pool area, and basically everybody smokes down there, which is really, really cool. Tobacco, of course. I don't do anything else, but I did smoke a cigarette, which is good. Then we also checked out. He was staying with some people. I'm like, he's like, hey, come by. So I went to his hotel room with him. There's some other people there, and he really tried to talk the host of the hotel room to let me stay there. Unsuccessful, barely, but it was nice that he tried. it was cool. It was cool. So I met this guy on Friday night after. So he saw my costume at the exit, and I asked him, "Hey, don't get a drink after this?" Because it seemed like an interesting guy. So I spent like 3 hours. A little bit of an energy vampire. Gotta be honest. Like cool dude, but a bit of an energy vampire and a bit negative. But you can take the good with the bad. And then the next day, I spent a little bit of time with him. Just kind of made just an hour, just to kind of. I don't want to enjoy the festival. I don't want to just be like involved in like petty dramas a bunch. But got to see everything. Did Star Trek thing. Walked around a lot. Got dinner. Dinner was what did I get for dinner? Oh, hamburger. And then later on, I got a strawberry milkshake. And I basically spend most of the time at the arcade. I gotta be honest. That's where I spend most of my time. Outside of shopping, I guess. So I walked around the expo a ton. Arcade. You just kind of walk around. Typically I would do board games, but I stopped by a few times, but there was never a situation where I could just kind of tag into a board game at the beginning of one. Except in the final day where I played chess with this cool guy twice. That was cool. So a couple of things happened. One, I experimented with staying in a nearby hotel. So I stayed at the Casa Alexandria. Got a great deal. I actually looked up whether they have any rooms available. Sold out for the next 6 months. But basically, I tried. Okay, if I can stay there, I can take a hotel. I can take a Uber or something from the convention to Alexandria. Be in somewhere the area. So Friday night I didn't do that because I lost the keys for a few. I couldn't find my keys, so I drove back. But the second day, like one day, staying up to 3 a.m. to drive back and getting home before is fine. 2 days, it starts to be dangerous. So I did it the second day, and it was really nice. Really, really nice. No complaints. You get to and from the convention center for about $40, which, if you see the prices in the convention center area, it's a bargain. So that's $75 a night plus 40 to get to and from 115. Really good deal. So that's what I would recommend. If you do it early enough, again, they sold out of the. I was going to try to do it for Katsucon, which is the next convention in about 3 weeks. It's actually pretty close. And the only regret I have is that this is going to sound so stupid. So I played this scooter game. I'm like, I'm just playing scooter games. I was trying to do all of the games. I'm not going to be the best at any of the games, but I'm like, well, if I try enough of them, I can be the guy who knows how to play every game. Kind of my same strategy for life, where I try to. Well, I'm not going to be the best programmer, PM, or anything else, but I want to do everything once. I want to do every single thing there is to do once. Which does handicap you professionally, but it's a cool thing. I don't know. Everybody makes an excuse for the strategy they go through in life. That's my excuse. But anyway, I played the scooter game, and so these two girls sat in the other seats, space in between. And at the end they're like, "Oh wow, you beat me! Oh no!" And they reached out and shook my hand. I'm like, "Yeah, good game." And they waved and they moved off. And I'm like, I need to have my instinct for women not to be running away. I know I got a thing going with faith, but like, first of all, that's not like official. Second, it's just a bad instinct. You want to always be closing. I should have been like, oh, well, maybe you can beat me in the next game. Well, do you want to play another game? And she probably would have said, maybe. I don't know. Maybe nothing would have happened. Maybe something could have happened. I don't know. And that's what kind of bugs me is I made a mistake there. I should have made a motion forward. I didn't. And I mean, honestly, she's probably too young for him. She was like 19, 20. But still, that's a minor thing. And maybe they're just like, oh, he was a cool dude, beat me in the game. Yeah. But I wish I would have said something, That's gonna eat me up too, and that's like, damn it. He's always trying to make ask. Anyway, I've had a couple misses over the past couple weeks. Just going to the coffee shop where I met. It didn't get a number. I need to follow through. I need to just do the thing. I get so fucking close every single time. But anyway, whatever. I don't care. what else is going on? But anyway, go to conventions. It's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. Oh, and the final thing they have is that they have this thing called a soapbox, which I think should be everywhere, but they're not. But basically, they set up 4 microphones and a table in front of some chairs, really basic stuff, and they basically people can go up and give their opinions on stuff, as long as it's not. They might softly encourage not to be political. I think it drifts in here and there, but most of the opinions are not political at all, which is kind of nice. It's like a live podcast teaching you stuff that like has nothing to do with politics, which is really cool. Because every goddamn podcast out there is so damn political because that's what the algorithm favors. Maybe just my algorithm. That's possible, but it feels like that, right? I mean, there are exceptions. Like Overly Sarcastic Productions is great. They're not political at all. I think they're soft left, but like they don't bring it up that much because I think they know the audience is soft right, which is really good. Keeps it actually good content. Anyway, I'm back. Watched the game. I think football is rigged. My official opinion after seeing that Kansas City Buffaloes game is that football is a rigged sport. It's not real. Football isn't real. It's a celebrity game meant to entertain you, which is fine, but it's not. It's not real. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm back. Ready to go back to work. I feel a lot better now. You need to enjoy things. You just do. If you don't, you're just gonna be unhappy, and that's bad for you. Anyway, see ya. Cheers.